Okay, here we are. Good morning. All right. Hope everybody can hear me well. Stick this thing somewhere. Okay, boundaries. The big word. So, I'm just going to Google the word to its meaning. And we'll wait for the computer to wake up. So, what I wanted to talk about was a lot of women struggle in this area. Hey girl, we all struggle in this area, mainly women, just because we're told as children, just do it. Just be nice. Be nice, sugar and spice and all that. But standing in our power and boundaries is good for us and others. So, let's start with knowing who you are. And who are you? Only you can figure that one out of who you are. So write down things that who you are. You're a mom, you're a sister, you're a daughter, you're a mother. Lost my pen. Who are you? What hats do you wear? Because we all wear multiple hats as we're women. Significant others, whatever. Stupid thing does not want to go where I want it to go. So, with that being said, you know the hats you wear. Do you change your face with every hat? Do you change who you are with every hat? Like, do you make yourself small when you're with your man? Do you make yourself knowledgeable when you're with your children, when you're in work? What do you portray yourself as? Knowledgeable? Knowing? You answer those questions. But the word boundary is a line that marks the limits of your area, a divided line, a border, frontier, borderline, partition. A limit of a subject or sphere of activity. Boundaries, definition, something that ideal bounds or limits, limiting or bounding. So, you don't want to limit yourself, but you want to put limits on the way people treat you. So, boundary lines. So yours drawing a stand in the line today was setting boundaries. I'm no longer going to put up with this. I'm no longer going to be this. I'm no longer going to do this. You have to write them down. But with boundaries, when we raise our standards to what we'll accept, like with children, when they go to school, you expect them to make good grades. If they don't, there's usually some kind of repercussion, a talking to or something. But you expect the best out of them. So that's the standard. You expect greatness from them. And the same with yourself. You need to expect greatness from yourself. So you raise the standard in yourself. When you raise the standard in yourself, everything changes. So, where are your standards? Your standards are where? With who? And the biggest part is with who? Do you have a different set of standards for your children and their behavior than you do your husband, boyfriend, significant other? Do you have different standards for colleagues, workspace, work situations? So evaluate where your standards are at. I'll slow down so you can write it all down because I know it's a lot. And where are your standards with yourself? Do you do self-care? Because that's a big thing. Where are your standards in your self-talk? So after you've written a few of the things down, let me know where you're at so I don't speed ahead and you miss a part that you really want to go through. Because I'm going to talk about self-care while you're writing. Self-care is key for self. Whether it's drinking a cup of coffee on the back porch in complete silence with your notebook, whether it's a hot bath at the end of the day, as far as just the peace of time to decompress and just be in you. Okay. So, the standards in your business life, do you set the standard higher for business than you do personal? Because there's got to be a balance. When you raise your standards, you raise the way people treat you. The expectation changes. Like, for instance, you're going along your day, everything's groovy, and you've had an exhilarating day, and it's all wonderful, and it's all business, and it's all groovy, and it's all good, and then the man comes home in a pissy mood and just, and you're like, dude, okay, you had a bad day. Are you going to allow that his situation affect you? Or are you going to stay in your high vibe? It's a choice, because we all have choices. Some of us have conversations like, well, what happened? And, being caring. But being caring doesn't mean we take it on. Okay, that's their mess. And move along and keep it going. Okay, so you don't tell them you had an awesome business day because they had a rotten day. Because, you don't want them to make them feel worse, but stay in your high vibe. And the other side of it is, if they come home with a high vibe day and you've had a bad day, is it equal for you to say, look, I just had a bad day, I'm just not feeling this, I'm glad you're happy, I'll try to be there with you, but at the same time, honor your feelings. So that's where self-care comes in. Because whether we've had phenomenal days, when we have phenomenal days, we need to treat ourselves. And when we have bad days, we need to treat ourselves. So no matter what's going on, you need to treat yourself. Whether it's a cup of coffee by yourself, whether it's a warm salt bath, whatever it is. Sometimes on big milestones, you can go get a massage, or go get your nails done, or a pedicure, or whatever the thing is that you enjoy to take care of yourself. I personally like pedicures because I can just sit in the chair, They can do my feet, and it's done. And I'm not running. I have to sit still. So, that's a gift for me, for myself. But on a daily, I go out on the back porch, drink my coffee, journal. With journaling, you do, I gotta. I wanna. But then you write, I love that all this has happened too. Like gratitude. And I know we know how to do it. So, back to who? Do you have different standards for different sets of people? Children, man, business, out in the community. Do you have different standards? Because as you raise your standards, you're going to change. There's no doubt about it. But it's not going to be for the bad. And standards equal boundaries. And when the boundaries are set, this is the line in the sand. I'm not putting up with this no more. This is the way it's going to be. And you don't have to say my way or the highway. Just, I'm no longer going to allow this to affect me this way. Because the one thing you can do is change your reaction to their behavior. I know a couple of you had seen, I was dealing with a teenage daughter with a toxic boyfriend. I could have stayed in the rat hole. I could have stayed vibrating with their level. But I said, I'm taking myself out of it and I'm vibrating at a different level and I'm going to expect something different. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. And when I didn't, everything changed within 24 hours. So whenever you make a change, give a minimum of 24 hours to see it implicated, because even though we want it instantly, sometimes it takes a minute to see the whole thing. Like with law of attraction. You can put the intention out there. Sometimes it happens in an hour. Sometimes it's 7 days. Sometimes it's a couple months. But you just stay in that vibration of, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I am not getting sucked into that negativity. And I'm going to stay high-vibing in myself. And I'm not, like with children, they tell you, don't give attention to the bad behavior. Only give attention to the good behavior, and then they will continue to have the good behavior. So, in any situations, instead of going down the rabbit hole, just take a step back and say, hey, I don't have to play in that. That is their shit, and I choose something different. It takes a little practice to start with. That is for sure. But the question is, who triggers you to go down the rabbit hole? Once you've set your standards different, things are going to shift. People are going to shift. People will stay, some will go. But it's all like it's supposed to be. Because people in our life for a lesson, a season, and a lifetime. And we don't know who those are. But when you approach every person differently, like, are they here to teach me a lesson? Are they here for a season of my life? Or are they here for a lifetime? So, with that being said, when you are dealing with people, and you're not sure what they play in your life, you can ask. Reason, season, lifetime. And when you start asking those questions, it makes it a little easier to know what part they play for you. Because there's some people that can drive you absolutely bananas. But they're there for a reason. To teach you something for a season of your life, to help you or help grow you, because growth is not always pretty. And it's called growing pains. So, really evaluate who triggers you. Who do you not have clear and concise standards with? Boundaries, yes, but standards. Where do you hold yourself? What do you look like? What do you feel you look like in their eyes? Say, husband. Do you feel inferior? Do you feel equal? Sorry. Where do you feel? I want you to write a list of people. All the people that you deal with on a weekly basis, some daily, but like on a daily basis, it would be children, significant other, weekly, maybe in-laws, maybe the grocery store man, whatever. And then do you feel worthy when you're with these people? Because your self-worth is a lot. Because part of boundaries is self-care and self-talk as well. I've talked about self-care a little bit. Now I'm going to talk about self-talk. Because guess what? Yourself is listening to you. So if you're constantly saying that you can't do this and you can't do that, well, okay, it's true. Because you can or can't. You make the decision. Both are true. But when you change it from an I can't to an I can, and don't ever say try, because try is just it's not a cop-out word. It's just you're not fully in it. And you can is a fully in it, or I will is a fully in it. So your self-talk is the biggest talk when it comes to boundaries. Because if you're sitting here going, yeah, well, whatever, in a negative situation, it's going to stay negative. If you change it of like, okay, you did that to me. All right, I got you. That's okay. I don't have to play that game. And when you don't play the game, everything changes. Everything. Because you decide that you're worth. Here it is, self-talk, self-care, self-worth. Worth equaling standards. Because if you don't feel you're worth it, you're not going to raise your standards. When you raise your standards, you change your self-worth, which in turn changes your self-talk. Then in turn changes your self-care. Because when you put you priority, okay, say you go to England and you meet the Queen and you do all these lovely things for her. Well, you are the Queen, that you need to do all these lovely things for you. And when you step into being you, this is where I started. Do you know who you are? Are you stepping in that? Are you being that? Being. B-E hyphen I-N-G. Because being is kind of like the present. You're giving a gift to yourself on a daily. Because right now, all we have is right now. And part of boundaries is programming from the past. Situations, things. Events. But guess what? They're the past. They don't exist anymore. It is done. The only thing with the past that holds into a present is our memory and feeling of it. Because when we bring it back to memory, it starts the feelings again and starts the whole process over again as though it happened in the now. But that's not true. The past is done. Like 5 minutes ago of this live, it was done. It can't be anything redone with it. You can call it back to memory for the good nuggets, for whatever. And the future's not. Sorry, I'm yawning. We're moving energy, obviously. The future has not been written. And it can be whatever you want it to be. You can write it out. You can speak it. You can visualize it. Whatever you do. But the future's not written yet. And it can be changed in a blink of an eye. When you change you. Because that brings it back to self-worth. And who are you? And when you know who you are and you step into who you are, the boundaries come easy. Not saying, I know that I've been reached out to by different people like, well, you did a reading for so-and-so and so-and-so. And can I? I was like, I don't do that for free. Not one-on-ones. I'm sorry. Because I hold my value with worth. Now, there's some people I have connected with that, yeah, we've done free things and whatnots, and they give me wonderful testimonies. So there's still an exchange. It's not just giving away. So, knowing your worth. It doesn't always have to be money. But there again, with that one person, I had to set a boundary. Sorry, don't do one-on-ones for free. Some person that just randomly friends requested me and then started blasting me. I want. Oh, that's nice, but I don't do that. And sorry, wrong person, because of a gift that, I don't mess with that world of things, that side of things. I know what I do. So there again, I know who I am. So I was like, I don't do that. I'm sorry. I have friends that do. Oh, well, put me in touch with them because I gotta. No. They're getting another boundary. No, I need to speak to them because I don't give out their information. Because I respect colleagues, friends. And then she was like, well, can you just do? No, I don't do one-on-one stuff for free. I'm sorry. There was boundaries. There was like multiple times I had to keep saying no. But with saying no, you're protecting yourself. Because that's the biggest thing. No, people think no is you're just flat refusing and you're a meanie and all that. No. No is self-protection. Because would you want somebody just busting in your house telling you what to do all the time? Strangers? No, you would be like, excuse me. No. Not your house. The same goes with your heart and your soul. It's not their house. It's yours. And you have to protect your house, your heart, your soul. So when you say no, it's not like you're this big, mean, mad person. No, you know who you are. You know what you can and can't do. And with saying no, you're just protecting yourself. Because people just all day long run over you if allowed. I want. Okay, that's nice you want. I just don't see it happening in today. Just saying. Because you protect your house, your heart, your mind, your soul, your body. I don't lift weights. I have weight restrictions, and if somebody's like, hey, can you come move this car and kind of give it a push? No. I know I'm not physically able and capable. So when you say no and it's just, a lot of people feel bad for saying no. No. And at the end of that conversation, she's like, well, thank you, and I'm sorry to bother you. She didn't hate me for saying no. I just had a very clear yes and no. This is what I do. No, I don't do this. No, I don't do it for free. Wasn't interjecting anything negatively, just saying no. And sometimes that's all that needs to be said. No, can't do it. Sorry. So, back to the first statement. Know who you are. Know who you are in the different roles with the different people. And if different people are sucking the life out of you, literally, it's time to evaluate and maybe tell them no. Because you have to protect you. Because honestly, nobody's going to protect you but you. And I mean your energy, your heart, your mind. I mean, there might be people that stand up for you. I have a lot of people that stand up for me. But at the same time, I know who I am. And I know what I can and can't do. And even with my schedule, I know what I can and can't take on. So some things end up being a no. Now, if they get upset, that's theirs, not yours. You didn't do anything but say a 2-letter word. If you've always said yes, this is going to be a new situation. They may not know how to respond to it, but just hold the no. If you've always been a yeser, and then you say no, they're going to push it a few times to make sure it's no. You got to remember, like a child. If you tell your kid no, and you've always told them yes, and then you're like, nope, and they go, oh, you told me no. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt you. You're not physically going to die because you got told no. You don't like it because you got told no. But on the other side, we've all been told no. There's people that's told us no. It's hurt our feelings. Well, why they tell me no? Well, their self-preservation as well. Whatever the reasoning, doesn't matter. Because then I have to go in, or you have to go in and look to, why did that no hurt me? Did it kill me? Am I physically scarred in any way? Like, do I got cuts or anything? No. There's a little owie on the heart because we get heart injured, but we're not physically hurt in any way with the word no. When you take the sting out of no, it's easier to say it. So, know who you are. Who you are with different people. Know your self-worth. Your self-talk. Are you telling yourself no all the time to help all these other people? Because that's in turn what you're doing. If you're saying yes to everybody all the time, then you're saying no to you. You're telling yourself no, you can't have downtime. You're telling yourself no, you can't be just chill or happy or this or that. You're telling yourself no, and while you're telling other people yes. You need to switch that around, tell them no, and say yes to yourself. Because who are you responsible for making you happy? Who? Who's responsible for making you happy? You. Other people, yeah, they can help make you happy too with different things. But unless you're filling your cup, because, okay, let's just take it for instance, an in-law. I had a mother-in-law at one point that she expected me to raise my kids this way and do my kids this way and do my kids, let my kids run all over the place. Told me I could not wear white. Told me I wasn't allowed to wear white because I had children. I was like, psst, I'll wear whatever color I want. My kids will learn that it's a no when mama's wearing white. You're not going to run up with me with an Oreo cookie and smear it all over my pants. That's a no. But my ex-mother-in-law was like, no, you don't tell kids no. You just don't wear that. Why do I gotta change me to let these children do whatever they want versus telling them no? No, they can know that they're not going to touch mama's white pants. They're not going to, with anything I wore. I just would not allow my kids to wipe their hands on my clothes. And my mother-in-law was like, no, you don't tell your kids that. You just go change your clothes. Mm-mm. Because I valued myself to where I may be during the day, that I wanted to look good and look nice. So I told my kids, no, you're a hot mess. You're not wiping your hands on my pants. There's napkins, there's wash rags, there's baby wipes, whatever. They'll be clean, but they're not using my clothes to clean their hands. And I said no. Well, it caused a lot of rift with me and her. But you know what? That's okay. Because I valued myself, because she didn't know what my whole day consisted of. But I said no. Well, that pissed her off. And my kids had to learn. No, you don't touch mama's clothes to wipe your hands off. This is simplicity. Not everybody's mindset's the same. Not everybody's raised the same. I get that. But she was like, well, the kids here are just allowed to do whatever they want to do, and you have to change to them. No, the kids don't rule the world. The kids don't pay the bills. I do. But there's going to be adults the same way. Oh, well, I'll just use your shirt to wipe my hands on. Excuse you? No. No. I'm using that as an analogy because that's what a lot of people do with us when our heart. They want to be mean and nasty and dump on us and then be like, well, why can't I wash my hands on your heart? Why can't I throw my garbage? No, because I'm protecting me. You wouldn't allow me to do it to you, so don't do it to me. So it's called protection. Protect yourself. When we protect ourselves, we grow. Because we're not getting the yuckies constantly pushed off on us, that we can actually be us. So, back to know who you are. Know your worth. And know that it may be uncomfortable to start with, setting defined boundaries, but in the end, it's going to be a lot easier and better because, like, when I first started with hella boundaries of saying no, now I get text messages or Facebook messages of, are you available to talk? Can you call me when you are? There's a respect. And all I just said was a few times of, nope, I'm working, sorry, and left it at that. You don't have to give a lot of reasons. You don't have to give, well, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. That's why I can't. That's why I can't. All you have to do is say, no, it doesn't work in my schedule right now. They don't need to know what you're doing. It's none of their business. If it's a boyfriend or a husband and you feel you need to elaborate, okay, then elaborate. But honestly, most people don't listen anyways. You just say no and they stop listening, so why keep talking? If that makes sense. So, the other thing with boundaries is self-image. The way we view ourselves in the mirror. The way we think other people view us. Oh, she's fat. Oh, she's got a butt. Oh, she's got a hair out of place, or this or that. And honestly, people don't really care. If what you're speaking and what you're doing is what's got their capture, they don't give a lot of hoots to your self-image. Now, granted, you don't want to be putting your hair in rollers and wearing slippers to go to the store. I mean, that's not really a presentable look. Or if you do business online, every day that you show up, you need to look presentable. Every day, I mean, for the most part, I put on makeup. Some days it's darker and lighter. I brush my hair. I put clothes on. I don't show up in my pajamas. I show up looking put together because I am. I get up, I start my day, I put the hair on, I do this, that, and the other. Every day I start it the same way. And if you're just in the flow of getting up, doing you, taking care of you, self-care first thing in the morning, having a quiet time, journal time, whatever you need, before you jump into the world of doing, and no matter what you're doing, you're going to look good if you start the day with, okay, I get up, I got dressed, I got my makeup done, I got my hair brushed, I set my style for the day, and then go forward. Nobody will ever kind of catch you with your pants down, in a sense, because you're already put together. First thing in the morning. So, self-image, just put out there what you want to be, what you want to look like, what you're comfortable with. Now, some people work hard jobs that they end up being dirty, greasy, messy, but they still start the day with clean clothes. Yeah, they probably wash their hands multiple times a day through the day. At the end of the day, their clothes may be a little dirty, but hey, they work. The hard jobs, the messy ones. But it doesn't matter, because they still got up, put clean clothes on, and rocked it. So, this went a little quicker than what I thought. I'm going to jump on another live to do Q&A. But pay attention to your self-talk, your self-care. And when you tell everybody else, you're denying yourself. You're telling yourself no. You can't have that 5 minutes. No, you can't do this. No, you can't. No, you don't have time to go to the bathroom because you got to keep running for everybody else. You're telling yourself no. And then your body gets tired, it gets run down. Illnesses show up, different pains show up because it's your body saying, no, this is the boundary.